The internet has been up in arms recently about this new game to come out called Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a horror game in which you work the night shift at a Chuck E. Cheese-like restaurant which has various robotic mascots which roam the place at night. It may not sound like much, but it is quite possibly one of the scariest games to come out recently, and I wanted to make a quick video to talk about why such a simple game manages to produce such great scares. Also, just before this video starts, this isn't actually a proper review because I myself don't own the game and have not played it. However, the points I'll be talking about are all things I've noticed watching videos of other people playing it online. While I won't be able to comment on how the game feels to play, I can still make observations on what elements of the game help make it scary. In most horror games, the player is given free reign of movement, allowing them to run away from any potential threats that might be stalking them. In Five Nights at Freddy's, you don't get this luxury. See this room? Well, I hope you like it because it's all you get to explore. This room is also the only way you have of defending yourself from Freddy and his gang. You can use a camera feed to track where they are in the restaurant, use a light switch to check if there are any mascots in the darkness, and if there are, you can close the doors. However, all of these defenses use electricity, which is in limited supply, which makes you scared to even use them at times as you worry that you are using too much electricity. The fact the player can't move from this one spot also helps make the game super terrifying, as the player can't simply run away like you can in many other horror games. You have to face the spooky, scary furries face on, and you never know what they are planning and when they are going to strike, creating a huge feeling of tension. You also can't take your time and try to prepare yourself either, because the scares in this game happen whenever the mascots decide, not when the player wants to move forward, adding an extra feeling of suspense to the game. The game doesn't really have in-game graphics, so to speak. The game is made entirely of pre-rendered backgrounds and cutscenes, kinda like PlayStation 1 era FMVs. And Night Trap. The backgrounds are all dark and it's hard to make out details using the cameras. The mascots are also made to look as absolutely terrifying as they possibly can, with a sort of unreal look to them, which makes them really, really creepy when you catch them just staring into a camera. Or right at you. The roughness of the graphics coupled with character design that makes everyone remember how much they hate mascots of theme parks helps make the game really unsettling. I banged Slender for using jump scares before, and indeed this video utilises them too. I'm not showing any because I understand that some people detest them and I am one of those people. They are cheap horror, let's face it. But when used sparingly, and not as the only way the game has of making horror, they can be really effective. In this game, jump scares are only used as a punishment for the player failing a level. They can be avoided should the player play well enough and prevent any of the mascots reaching his room, making them a suitable punishment for the player losing. Some of them are kind of unfair, like the Foxy in Pirate Cove and the Golden Freddy Bear in Camera 2B, but it adds suspense, and once again these two things can be avoided if the player knows what they are doing. The horror in this game comes entirely from waiting for Freddy and his gang to strike, not the jump scares. They are just a way of punishing you for failing the level. The final thing that really helps this game be scary is the story, and the uncertainty that surrounds it. Very little is told to the player story-wise, it is all up for the player to make assumptions and to look deeper into. There are almost nightly threads on 4chan right now talking about the game and trying to figure out the story behind it all, and no doubt as it gets more popular, more theories will come up. What is in the kitchen? What is the Golden Freddy Bear? What happened to the 5 kids? None of this is ever really told to the player, but there is so much foreshadowing and uncertainty that it makes the story almost as scary as the game itself. So that's Five Nights at Freddy's, a super unsettling horror game with a unique premise which manages to stand out above the rest of the indie horror games that have come out recently. I recommend you should give it a try if you haven't. It's currently £3 on Desura and is on Steam Greenlight right now. I'm not really sure how to end this video, so please don't call me a raging homosexual for not having played the game. Please. First of all, a big thank you to JDandZGaming for letting me use their Let's Play of Five Nights at Freddy's as footage in this video. You guys are awesome. Link is in the description if anyone wants to check it out. Sorry that this video was a bit out of nowhere and less entertaining than my other videos, but I was really interested in this game and wanted to make a quick video about it while it's still relevant. I'm still working on another bigger video right now, so watch out for that, I guess. See you all later.